Hello, I'm Dr. G, and today we're going to be talking about how to do a canary bird exam. For me, there are 3 good reasons to learn how to do a thorough bird exam. First of all, before buying a bird, we want to examine the bird to maximize our chances of getting a healthy bird. Secondly, by examining the bird on a regular basis, we can detect health problems even before they become apparent, therefore optimizing the chances of a quick and full recovery. The third reason is to examine them as soon as they show signs of illnesses so we can pinpoint the cause to help provide a prompt and specific treatment plan. You will need 3 things to do the exam. I recommend a digital scale and a box to weigh the bird and tweezers to pull the feathers back to see the nostrils. First of all, I'm going to present to you here's Sparky. He was given to me a little while ago because he got into trouble. He actually flew on a parrot cage and the parrot bit off his foot, so he had to be amputated. Sparky is still a very lively bird and he enjoys flying around and just being himself, perky and happy. Now when we are going to do our exam, we're going to look at the birds in the cage before taking them out. We're going to look for symmetry, see if the eyes are equal, see if the nostrils are clean, see if the wings are droopy, see if they're tail bobbing, their tail is going up and down with every breath. That's important to watch this before actually picking them out of the cage, before they get stressed and the adrenaline kicks in. Now when you're ready to go in the cage and pick them up, sometimes it helps if you dim the lights a little bit. Otherwise, just go in and gently pick them up by the body, take them out, make sure the other birds don't escape at the same time if there's several of them in the cage. You look at them to make sure that there's no bleeding feathers, that they're looking quite comfortable. Usually when I do a bird exam, I'm going to take out a scale and get everything ready beforehand. It's very important to weigh them to see how they're doing. There's different types of scales. I prefer digital scales that are precise to 1 gram for smaller birds, maybe precise to 2 grams for larger birds. If you're not used to weighing them in grams, it's worth giving it a try. It's a lot more precise. So I deduce the weight of my little cage here that I'm going to be putting my bird in to actually get the bird's weight afterwards. So normally canaries are about 18 to 22, 24 grams depending on their size. When you take them to do a general physical exam, normally what I do is I'm going to put my thumb underneath their chin. It's very important not to put any pressure on their thorax, on the front of their abdomen, because they don't have a full rib cage like we do. So that's very important, that you make sure that their breathing is very constant, that they feel comfortable in your hand, they're not wiggling too much. If they're vocal, I don't mind as much as if they're wiggling. Usually if they're really wiggly, that's because we're not holding them properly. If you put your fingers on either side of the head, that works quite well as well. I'm going to show you again later on how to do the transition between the thumb underneath the chin and the fingers on either side of the head, as you can see here. Now, often birds are going to be a lot calmer if they're a little bit lying down on their back in our hand. And it's important to control the wings as well. If you put your index finger on top of the head, you're going to have a lot more control over the head part when you want to look at the nostrils later on. So you pull out the wings and we see no mites, no signs of disease, that there's no feathers missing. If we blow there, sometimes we'll see the blood vessel, check their blood pressure. It's important to check on the chest. Their keel bone is very pointy and they have nice muscle masses on either side. If their weight is good, it's going to make a nice U shape, and if they're overweight, it'll make a W shape. Now this one here, I'm looking at his little knob of a foot and it's fine. There's no pressure sores, and the other wing is fine as well. So he's quite a healthy little fellow, this Sparky. I'm going to check underneath the feet to see if there's any pressure sores, especially on a bird that only has 1 foot like Sparky. That means that the perches have the same diameter, always wearing out at the same place. And it's important to vary the diameter of the perches. Check the abdomen, that they're not overweight, not egg-bound, that their cloacal part is very clean, their gland in the back of their tail is not asymmetrical, that it's nice and equal. And then you flip him over, look at their back. Everything's fine there as well. Make sure that the gland, you can check it at this side too, and that he's fine. So a general physical exam for a little bird like that is going to take about 30 seconds. It's not very long. And usually I check the nostrils to see that they're not blocked, that the feathers are not all matted on top. Sometimes I'll do the water droplet test. I put a water droplet on it. If it bubbles or goes in, I know the nostril is fine. If it stays there, that means there's no air passing. It's important sometimes to check as well for the ears. I've seen all kinds of problems in their ears as well that are hidden there right below the eye, but it's they can hear us quite well. So this was Sparky's exam, and he's doing really well, this little fellow. So I'm going to put him back in his flight cage so he can go see his little sweetheart Sunshine. He flies right up there with his mates. He's really happy. And then it's better to put him on the bottom of the cage. He'll go up and start his routine again when he's nice and ready, not to stress him and try and put him on a perch directly. So we'll say bye-bye to Sparky here. He was a really good help for this video. So we'll see you next time in the other videos. Bye-bye.